Okay, Shalom, Shalom. Kwam Yasha Kuhuloyimla, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to take the water to all the Akim and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. This is Yahchanan Nawah. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And I wanted to run down the copyright disclaimer before I play this video. Shouldn't be a problem, but Esau has been tripping lately. So, copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is the use permitted by copyright statute and might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, education, or personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. So not making any money off of this video, but it's really just the news. This is MSN, but it's a whole bunch of channels that covered this. This is Dr. Oz. He tells the country is not procreating enough. Americans are under babied. And when, they get to talking like that, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. He's talking about Edomite women. He's talking about the Edomite family. And when we say Edomites, we mean Esau, the biblical nationality for the so-called white man. That's who he's really focused on. That's who they're really talking about. But they use these broad brush terms as if they care about everyone, and they don't, because that's the reason why they have a Planned Parenthood nearby you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans at all times where you can come and delete your baby. But, a lot of so-called white women, they do too. And I think just of recently, Supreme Court, I'm trying to think, I don't want to jack it up, but it was an article, or basically it's a abortion pill that you can get in the mail, which shows you how wicked this place is. You can get an abortion pill right through the mail, you know what I'm saying? And I guess through Trump with the Roe versus Wade and all the shit that was going on. Because see, they don't want you women, especially you white women, aborting your babies. So I guess in certain states, until they wiggle through all the paperwork and the legalities and all this other shit, they extended women being able to get that abortion pill or abortion, whatever it is, in the mail. So you can, do a damn abortion. And that just shows you how wicked America is, man. Like, this is a very wicked ass place. Because the Lord said to be fruitful and multiply. But this man, he promotes the deletion of babies. Now, when he was promoting the deletion of babies, it was geared towards us as a people. But now they're reaping what they've sown. So they're dying off quicker than they're being born. See, the Lord is not to be mocked. That's that Galatians 6 and 7. Whatever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So Esau is reaping the very destruction that he's thrown out here on our people. So I'm going to play the video. It's only 2 minutes and 31 seconds. And we'll just see what the TV doctor Mehmet Oz got to say about this shit. So let's see.
Okay, go ahead. So let me speak a little bit about the reality that 1 in 3 Americans are under-babied. What does under-babied mean? That means that you either don't have any children or you have less children than you would normally want to have. And to Katie's point, we have a crisis that's causing our fertility rate to drop below 1.5. The replacement rate is 2.1. So we're way below what we need just to replace the people that we have in America. And one of the challenges is that rural America, where there's 60 million people, have a mortality rate, maternal mortality rate when they have babies. That's about 30% higher than if you live in an urban area. One of the ways the president wanted to address this was creating something in the Working Families Tax Cut legislation, which is, I think, the most ambitious, fantastic program ever written to help fix the healthcare system. The president saved Medicaid in the Working Families Tax Cut legislation. He also invested with Congress's help, and Senator Britton and her colleagues voted for this of the House, to put in $50 billion into rural healthcare. That's $10 billion a year for the next 5 years. All the money went out the door on time, and it's being used for incredibly beneficial advances.
About a bitch. Lock you, y'all.
centers adopting smaller facilities, clinics, so they can help moms deliver babies wherever they may live. You don't have to drive across state to get there. Now, as great as this all is, and as fantastic as it has been to have 50 governors, in this case, Mr. President, even the Democratic governors are on board. It's such a good offer. It's such a beautiful way of keeping your people healthy that everyone's embraced this program. We still can't do it by ourselves. We have to invest in the American people. We have to have governors and private sector partners that make this happen, as well as, and I hope the Secretary can speak to this in a moment, because MAHA is probably vital to this effort. You have to get moms healthy enough to do the most creative thing the universe knows, which is making babies. So Olivia, maybe you can take the message around the private sector involvement and how you and your family have gotten involved in this and led the way, and maybe we can talk about.
Okay, so and there it is, man. I wish I had the original one. I kind of lost it because I was going into the comment boards, and these younger women see that as being disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Like this old ass motherfucker telling us we need to have kids. Then you seeing comments talking about how they can't afford them, and really they can't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Esau, he has really, you know, walked himself into a corner. He's painted himself into a corner, man, and he's stuck. Let me get that Galatians 6 and 7 real quick. And they're under those curses, man. And they're actually, you know, that scripture that talks about they're greatly despised. They're small among the heathen. Galatians 6 and 7, it says, be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. In the Amplified, it says, do not be deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. He would not allow himself to be ridiculed, nor treated with contempt, nor allow his precepts to be scornfully set aside. And that's Esau. You know, he, you know, in that Psalms 50 and 16, it says, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or taketh my covenants in thy mouth? Since thou hatest instructions and castest my words behind thee. Because the Lord said to be fruitful and multiply. But this man has Planned Parenthoods and abortion centers. You know, he had them set up for decades and decades and decades, you know, done killed millions and millions and millions of Israelite babies, man. So it says again, do not be deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. He will not allow himself to be ridiculed, nor treated with contempt, nor allow his precepts, his word, to be scornfully set aside. For whatsoever a man sows, this and this only is what he will reap, right? And so that's Esau, man. Let's get Job 34 and 29 to prove that the Lord, he deals with nations and individual people within them. Because these women are doing bad. I was just watching that video from the elder in South Carolina, and he had a collage of, I think he called it the princesses of Edom. You know, and them bitches is on there crying, screaming, kicking. You know, I got 3 jobs. I can't afford rent. I'm about to be thrown out. I can't afford gas in my car. I'm just trying to do a couple of Uber runs, make some money. I'm trying to, you know, just crying and boohooing. But like, where are your men? You know what I'm saying? You know, you are the women you're supposedly be the face of the world when it comes to these relationships and righteousness and you know, you just being these righteous women. But now you baby mamas and you're baby daddies and you're reaping what you sown. Job 34 and 29, when he giveth quietness, who then can make trouble? And when he hideth his face, who then can behold him? Whether it be done against a nation or against a man only. See, so the Lord, he deals with nations. Same way he dealt with us as a nation. And we're going through those curses still of Deuteronomy chapter 28. But also, let's get Deuteronomy 30. Let me see. We start at verse 5 here. It says, and the Lord Yahweh thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it. And he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. See, so we're supposed to be about multiplication, you know, having children, but you can't enjoy no kids here, man. It's really not wise to even have children in Esau's kingdom. But you know, the Lord, he's the father of spirits. So if the Lord want a spirit to come into this world, it's coming. No matter what. He could put a crackhead together, 2 crackheads together, you know, in the worst state, man, and bring a baby into this world, man. And somebody will find that baby screaming in a trash can somewhere and bring that baby forth, you know, to be someone great and you know, in the future, so to speak, because that's the power of the Lord. Verse 6, and the Lord Yahweh thy God will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed to love the Lord thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. See? And that's what's going on with Esau right now. A lot of these curses are being reversed on him. And it's too late. I don't even know what they trying, but you've made it to, bro, gas is fucking $5 a gallon. Nobody's out here like that, not your, I guess they talking about these megas, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these megas, they can afford a little bit more than your average so-called trailer trash white person. But these megas, they don't even want to go through that. And then it's not just the affordability. Esau has given these women the ability to get abroad, where they're on social media. They have too many damn choices, man. They have that ability to just get up at 2:00 a.m. in the morning and fucking head to the airport and go to another country, ride some rides, have some cocktails, sniff some coke, and come on back, you know what I'm saying, to her her supposedly husband, while he's taking care of the kids while she's gone doing that. This is the world that you're living in. It's not, Esau don't have no control over his women no more. As a matter of fact, I'll get this too. Let me show you this one. It was an article. Might as well get rid of that. I think this is it. This guy, right? Nope, this is not it. Let me go back. Slocky, bear with me. Did I lose it? Oh, you already know this damn racist right here. Might have to go into my history. Let me go into the history, see if I still got it. Slot. Yep, see this guy right here. Husband ruined financially by divorce, strangled and drowned his wife in bathtub after obsessively bugging her home and vehicle with spy devices. So he got down on her, and you can see that look right there, boy. You see the little mark on his face and shit. The police asked him what the shit was. He said that it was he went to the doctor for skin cancer, and Esau, that son be beating down on their asses, but yeah, man, it says he beat and stripped and strangled and drowned her in the bathtub. Yep. So he was 55, she was 50, and of course it was about the finances, and it was another guy. That's been going on quite a bit as of late. See these women, it's that social media, man, because generally, see, a couple like this, they would stay together forever. Back in the ancient, or back, decades ago, you know what I'm saying, the 1940s, 50s, the woman didn't really have no say in the family finances and stuff like that. So she basically divorced him, about to take all his shit, got him in all this financial ruin. They didn't say anything about them having no children. But yeah, he wasn't having it. And you can see that, hey, that's the look of a madman right there. That's a goddamn Edomite. Red, all over like a hairy garment, like the scriptures describes them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not white people. That's that 1,000-yard stare that all of them have. Like it's just a murderous look in their eyes, man. That's just Esau. He's the wicked that the Bible speaks of. And so, but yeah, man, he strangled her ass out. That's pretty much, yeah, I guess he bugged her place. Yeah, you got to be careful, man. I don't know how he got all that done. But again, it didn't say anything about him having any children. It says police asked what it was, and he said, what's that? I think nigga said he had to go for some skin cancer treatment. Yeah, that son is not agreeable with you so-called white people. It says while talking, police observed 2 marks on on his person, describing one of the marks as a red spot on his left cheek. Police asked what it was, and he said it was a scar from getting skin cancer removed. See that? Multiple different times. And that might be true. Because the son is not dealing with Esau. Esau don't have no melanin, man. That's that mark of Cain that's on him. That's that real mark of Cain and them coming back in reincarnation. Then you go into the comment boards, of course, but this is the average American, man. These white people, they're crashing out. And everybody in here seems to be like, it's the fascinating behavior this, somebody got. But it says the usual suspect, basically. See, look, Weezy, the usual suspect at it again. See, Jake, what I've been noticing about these particular articles is Jake been going into these comment boards and clowning the shit out of Esau. See, the usual suspects. See? Dead man walking. They got this boo-boo. It's always them. Is it them again, boo boo? It's always them. See, the usual suspect. See. Man, bro. Hey, this E, man. And they're under those they're falling under those curses. It's not absolute 100 with them yet, but it's gonna be. And they can't handle the slightest shit. You know how much shit Jake go through, man. Jake dealing with baby mamas and been dealing with fucking child support and dealing with a bunch of bullshit from a bitch. He paying child support and he still might have to drop some diapers off. You know, he paying child support. He still might have to drop some food off because she fucking the money over. You know what I'm saying? You know, baby still needs some damn shoes and socks. You know, some, whatever. So Jake been going through it, man, for forever in this place. So when it comes to them, they get a little slight hint to what we going through, and they fucking bugging the fuck out, man. This nigga like, fuck that. I'd rather go to jail. You know, he got land, he had tractors and shit. I guess he just like, nah, fuck that. You know, this bitch, she done fucked up everything, and she thinks she's gonna get away with it. She thinks she's gonna go and get with another guy with my money. You know, that's Esau, bro. Let me get one more, though. We end out. Because the Dr. Oz thing and him talking about these kids. Don't nobody want to have no kids here. You done made that shit totally unaffordable. And then again, at the same time, too, it's not about the money per se. It's people don't want that type of lifestyle no more. You fuck that all up, Esau. You fuck that all up. There's no way around it. Nobody wants to. That's not the life that people want. Or at least a lot of people don't, you know, especially amongst this newer generation. They don't want nothing to do with that shit, man. These motherfuckers walking around with some earbuds in their goddamn ears all damn day long. They wouldn't even hear the baby crying. Shit. They ain't thinking about nothing like that. All they want to do is be a damn influencer and talk about their careers. Obadiah 1 and 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Yeah, you're small, man. See? Behold, the Amplified. It says, behold, Edom, I shall humiliate you and make you small among the nations. You are greatly despised. And so see now too, because when a lot of these immigrants used to come in here, they didn't got rid of a lot of the immigrants so-called. But, you know, when a lot of these immigrants would come in, they would be labeled as so-called white, even though they're not. And that would keep the numbers up for Esau. You know what I'm saying? Esau used to be able to, you know, add on, a couple of extra 100,000, 1,000,000 people, you know what I'm saying, to their, to their hookup, as if they were, they're part of the so-called white population, and they're really not. You know, that goes with, like a lot of so-called Hispanics, a lot of Latinos, Dominicans, a lot of even Africans, or even East Indians and stuff like that. I think they're labeled as being so-called white. Let me see. Let's ask a question real quick. Just gonna put in, are immigrants sometimes considered to be white in the consensus? I think it is. What is that? Am I right? Am I tripping? Consensus. I don't know about. Let's see though. Yep, see, it says yes. Immigrants are often considered white, depending on their region of origin and the specific demographic or legal context. Whether an immigrant is classified as white involves evolving social perceptions and shifting government definitions. The nuisance surrounding immigrant racial classification. Census, government and census definitions. In the United States, official U.S. Census Bureau standards define white as a person having origins in Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. See that? This means many immigrants from these regions are officially counted as white in national statistics, although there is growing debate and demographic tracking to separate Middle Eastern and North African identities from white. So why do they do that? Because Esau, he's cooking the books, man. He's cooking the numbers. Immigration from Latin America. The classification of Hispanic or Latino immigrants is complex. In official U.S. data, Hispanic is an ethnicity rather than a race, and individuals of Hispanic or Latino origin can officially identify white, black, or another race. Many Latino immigrants select white. Yeah, because see, you want to be so-called white. You fucking Jake, man. But guess what? These so-called white people threw your ass in alligator Alcatraz, while others identify as indigenous or multiracial. See that? Shifting social boundaries. Historically, the concept of who is considered white has expanded over time, which we know white is a social construct. That's, no one's actually white. These people are pinkish to reddish in color. You got different shades of pink, red, and you got different shades of brown people on the planet. It says, for example, early 20th century immigrants from southern and eastern Europe were not universally viewed as white by the dominant native-born population, but over generations, they and their descendants have been fully integrated into the white majority. Yeah. Lived experiences. Despite legal and census classifications, social consensus and everyday perception do not always align. Immigrants who are white passing or of European descent are generally perceived as white by society, while immigrants of color or those with highly distinct ethnic, religious, or linguistic backgrounds may not be socially recognized as white, regardless of what the government forms dictate. But on paper, these people are considered to be white, and that's what Esau he cooking the books, man. And what did Joe Biden say when he was in there last time? Joe Biden he told you Negroes, you need to help out. You need to help to keep the so-called white race from being diminished, man. Because see, Esau, that's the reason why, they got rid of a lot of immigrants. Esau understands that they're being overtaken. They're understanding that if their women are having babies, they're having babies by niggas. Or men of other, of color. You know what I'm saying? They're not dealing with the so-called white man. You are whack in the world, man. Don't nobody see you as being, you go, what's this guy? This your average white people right here. What's the guy name? Chud. The nigga Cheddar Bob, that shot his fucking self. Let's see, Chud. Nah, images of Chud. What the fuck, Chud? Chud, the what's his name? Chud the Builder. Yep, here you go. This is your average Edomite right here. Here you go. Who's trying to deal with you? Who's trying to deal with Chud the Builder, man? You know what I'm saying? And they talk about this replacement theology shit. No, your women don't want to deal with you, man. That's how you know that this kingdom is falling. Your women don't want nothing to do with you. You think any bitch with some sense wouldn't walk up on no nigga like this here, But one of you do, a doofy ass black woman, she'll deal with this nigga. Look at him, looking stupid as hell. This is your average white man right here, And then of course, let's, this guy right here. We just showed you this guy right here. Let's go back to this guy. This lady had to get a protection order from this guy, and you can see why. You can see it in his eyes as to why she had to get one. Look at this guy. Come on, bro. Let's get a close up of this motherfucker. Look at this guy. Man, you see somebody like this right here, man. This motherfucker look like something out of a horror movie in the daytime. You supposed to be. That's why we say walk circumspectly, man. And don't get me wrong, he could be an Israelite. But this some Edomite shit. I ain't gonna front, but he could be an Israelite. This woman, she could be an Israelite. She kind of look like she, maybe Northern Kingdom or something like that. But the point is Esau is not doing well. He's not doing well, and we applaud it. And let me end out with one of my favorites. My scripture been coming out quite a bit here. Love this scripture. Seeing the fall of these people, man, it's a beautiful thing. We not tripping. We see people in the comment boards, oh, that's so bad. What's going on with the men in America, and why are they killing so many women? Yeah, because you bitches is wicked. And this is a wicked ass place, man. Ecclesiasticus 25:7, there be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man to have joy of his children, He that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. That's what we're witnessing. When you see your enemy not having children, that's a fall of them. When you see your enemy women dealing with you as opposed to them, that's a fall, man. That's not a good look. That's not a good look. And Esau, he hating that shit right now. So, you know, they know that they have but a short time. So they're going to come down with even more great wrath. That's why we say be circumspect, brothers out here, you know. So, and pray. Continually pray. So with that, pray that the lesson was edifying for me. Allah in the Bible ball.